Reborn in 1978, I decided to do three things. First, I would take the initiative to file a report and volunteer to support the construction of the Great Northwest. Second, I would no longer foolishly wait on Mo Xiaoya, my husband Gu Yujun's pregnant adopted sister. Third, I would divorce Gu Yujun, part ways, and never see each other again. When he noticed that I was acting out of character, no longer making a fuss or caring about how he defended Mo Xiaoya, Gu Yujun thought I had learned my lesson after being confined. It wasn't until he was injured on a mission, hospitalized, and needed someone to care for him, and came to me only to be coldly rejected, that Gu Yujun realized things had completely slipped out of his control. I had already decided I didn't want him anymore. Su Luo, your confinement is over. You can come out now. The voice of Gu Yujun's guard woke me from my daze. I limped out of the confinement room, the blinding sunlight making it impossible for me to open my eyes fully. Tears welled up from the sting. And beside me came the emotionless voice of Gu Yujun's personal guard. The chief has a meeting today. He asked me to tell you to go home, reflect on your mistakes, and write a letter of apology. He'll check it when he's back from the meeting. I wiped the tears from the corners of my eyes and walked forward without a word. Gu Yujun's guard followed behind me, and I could feel the contempt in his gaze. As the chief's wife, who wasn't favored by the chief, even the guards looked down on me, shifting with the wind. In my past life, I desperately grasped for things that weren't mine, using all my strength. But all I got was being confined, being scolded impatiently by Gu Yujun, being loathed and neglected, and finally dying by suicide from depression. When I married Gu Yujun, it wasn't as if we hadn't been in love. He bought me snacks, took me to movies, and walked with me. Our love made others envious. But everything changed after Gu Yujun's adopted sister, Mo Xiaoya, came to him pregnant. From the very first day Mo Xiaoya arrived, I became invisible in Gu Yujun's eyes. The first person he saw and thought of was always Mo Xiaoya. He accompanied Mo Xiaoya to pick out baby supplies, went with her to prenatal checkups, and gave all the money saved at home to Mo Xiaoya. At first, I thought Gu Yujun's feelings for Mo Xiaoya were just sibling affection. So, I also devoted myself to taking care of Mo Xiaoya alongside Gu Yujun until one day I read Mo Xiaoya's diary. Brother Yujun, I love you. I know you love me, too. We love each other so much. Why can't we be together? I'm afraid I can't stop myself from telling the whole world, Brother Yujun, without you, I really can't go on living. It hit me like a thunderbolt. I confronted Mo Xiaoya and demanded an explanation. Mo Xiaoya wasn't afraid at all. It's exactly what you see. We love each other, but for certain reasons, we can't be together. In a rage, I slapped Mo Xiaoya across the face, but she turned around and went to Gu Yujun to complain that I had hurt her. I was roughly shoved to the ground by Gu Yujun and sprained my ankle. Mo Xiaoya was sent to the hospital because she was affected by the shock and Gu Yujun didn't come home for days, staying by her side the whole time. I went to find him and Mo Xiaoya holding her big belly looked at me with a provocative smile. I love Yujun and Yujun loves me because of societal norms. We can't be together. So, Brother Yujun married you. To put it bluntly, you're just a fig leaf we need. I had never seen such a shameless person. Shock and anger drove me to force Gu Yujun to choose between me and Mo Xiaoya. Gu Yujun thought I was being unreasonable. He rubbed his forehead and scolded me impatiently. He said I was making something out of nothing, that I was petty and narrow-minded, that my thoughts were filthy and I couldn't tolerate others. He said he was merely showing humanitarian spirit by taking care of his pregnant homeless foster sister, and I was overthinking and slandering him and his foster sister, Mo Xiaoya. Later, Mo Xiaoya falsely accused me of pushing her and trying to harm the child in her womb. Gu Yujun again refused to believe my explanation and chose to side with Mo Xiaoya. He forced me to apologize and admit fault to Mo Xiaoya. I hadn't done anything wrong, so naturally, I wouldn't apologize. So, Gu Yujun had the guards lock me in a confinement room to reflect on my mistakes. In my previous life, I was locked in that confinement room for a week. When I came out, Gu Yujun had the guards tell me to write a letter of apology. Naturally, I refused. Gu Yujun thought I was stubborn and wanted a divorce. I loved Gu Yujun to death and couldn't bear to divorce him. So, under Gu Yujun's coercion, I humiliatingly wrote an apology letter to Mo Xiaoya. I thought taking a step back would lead to a brighter future, but I was too naive. After Mo Xiaoya gave birth, she continued to live in my and Gu Yujun's home. I worked during the day and waited on her hand and foot during her postpartum confinement like a maid. No matter what I did, Mo Xiaoya showed no gratitude. She constantly found ways to frame me, slander me, and provoke me. And every time Gu Yujun chose to stand against me, he looked at me as if I were something incomprehensible. The prolonged mental torment made me sick. Depressed. I was anxious and insecure, but I didn't know I was ill. Gu Yujun didn't care about me, so I struggled and wandered alone, thinking many times of ending it all with death. Later, I became pregnant, knowing that a little life was growing inside me. I was overjoyed. I carefully protected the child in my womb. I thought Gu Yujun would fall back in love with me because of the child. But it was all just wishful thinking on my part. When she learned I was pregnant, Mo Xiaoya came up with a mutually destructive scheme to frame me. And in the end, I couldn't save my child. When I lost my child, Gu Yujun was by Mo Xiaoya's side, comforting her and her child. Dragging my broken body past Mo Xiaoya's hospital room, I saw Gu Yujun peeling an apple for her. Saw him holding Mo Xiaoya's child and speaking softly to comfort them. They looked like a loving family. The scene before me drove me mad. With no will to live, I climbed to the rooftop of the hospital and jumped, ending my miserable, pitiful life. I walked slowly toward Gu Yujun's home from memory. Encountering quite a few familiar faces along the way, everyone stopped to look at me, and all their gazes carried mockery and disgust. Thanks to Mo Xiaoya, the neighbors now all knew I was a vicious woman who couldn't tolerate her husband's younger sister. I was someone who could cruelly harm a pregnant woman. In my previous life, I had been utterly humiliated by the stares of the crowd, ashamed to the extreme. But in this life, having already died once, I no longer cared. I swore in my heart that I would never walk the same path as my previous life. I would not apologize to that shameless creature Mo Xiaoya. And if Gu Yujun wanted a divorce, I would divorce him. I would stay far away from those two disgusting people. Pushing open the courtyard gate and stepping onto the stairs. Mo Xiaoya with her swollen belly heard the sound and opened the door to come out. Seeing my haggard and disheveled appearance, she covered her nose with a look of disgust. "You're back. Not feeling too good after being confined. Are you seeing this vicious creature again?" Hatred churned in my heart. "Get lost. Oh, still so arrogant after 7 days of confinement. Seems like you still haven't reflected enough. Huh? Let me tell you, Su Luo, don't think this is over. Brother Yujun said you'll sincerely apologize to me. I'm really looking forward to it." As long as no outsiders were around, Mo Xiaoya made no effort to hide her malice. I stopped and looked at her, saying word by word. "Then you just wait for my apology." I hadn't bathed in 7 days and my body stank. I boiled water, took a bath, and changed my clothes. Opening the trunk, I took all the money I had saved along with my food stamps, meat stamps, and cloth stamps, and headed out the door. Mo Xiaoya was sitting in the courtyard basking in the sun. Seeing me come out, she said in a commanding tone, "I'm hungry. Go buy groceries and cook right away, buy more meat and pork ribs." Ignoring Mo Xiaoya, I quickly walked out of the courtyard gate, hopped on my bicycle, and headed straight to my workplace. At my workstation, I quickly wrote a letter of application and knocked on my leader's door. After reading my application, the leader was extremely shocked. "You want to volunteer to support the construction of the Northwest? This isn't a joke. The environment out there is terrible, and it's at least 5 years at a stretch. Your husband, Commander Gu, definitely won't feel at ease letting you go. This is my choice. Gu Yujun has no right to interfere. Besides, in the face of the nation, personal interests don't come first. I've made up my mind. I will dedicate my life to the motherland." My attitude was resolute. The leader accepted my application and kindly advised me to go home and discuss it properly with Gu Yujun. If I was truly determined, I would be ready to depart in half a month. After leaving the workplace, I let out a breath. My stomach completely empty. Passing by a restaurant, I went in and exchanged food stamps and meat stamps for a delicious meal. After eating and drinking my fill, I strolled slowly through the streets, thinking about what to do next. As I walked, signing up to leave this place and support the construction of the West was the first decision I made after waking up. From now on, I would no longer foolishly cling to Gu Yujun like I did in my previous life. Nor would I swallow my pride and foolishly take care of the vicious and shameless Mo Xiaoya for his sake. My application to go to the Northwest had already been submitted. The next thing I needed to do was divorce Gu Yujun. In my previous life, Gu Yujun threatened to divorce me to force me to apologize to Mo Xiaoya. I figured today would follow the same path. So, I decided to go along with it and end things with him first. I didn't drag myself home until just before sunset. And the moment I walked in, I heard Mo Xiaoya sobbing. Sister-in-law must hate me to death. She came back and scolded me, told me to get out. Brother Yujun, let me leave. I can't let this come between you two because of me. Mo Xiaoya cried as she made a show of leaving and Gu Yujun quickly reached out to stop her. She shamelessly burrowed into his arms and watching that disgusting scene. I slammed the door shut, the two of them startled and looked at me in unison. Gu Yujun pushed Mo Xiaoya away and glared at me with a dark face. Where did you go? Why didn't you make dinner? Brother Yujun, don't be harsh on sister-in-law. It's understandable she didn't cook since she's upset. I can handle going a little hungry. Hearing Mo Xiaoya's fake passive-aggressive words, Gu Yujun's expression turned even uglier, and he said arrogantly, "Go cook now. I already bought the ingredients." Xiaoya said she wants braised pork and ribs, so make some to nourish her. I was about to refuse, but when I saw the pork and ribs Gu Yujun had bought, I changed my mind and headed to the kitchen. Seeing me obediently comply, a flicker of resentment passed through Mo Xiaoya's eyes. In less than an hour, I brought the braised pork and ribs to the table. I even thoughtfully served them rice. Gu Yujun and Mo Xiaoya were both hungry. They sat down one after another, and Gu Yujun considerately picked 2 big ribs and a piece of braised pork into Mo Xiaoya's bowl. Eat up. Don't let the baby go hungry. I was standing right there as a living person, but he completely ignored my existence, not even bothering to invite me to sit and eat. I couldn't help but curl the corner of my mouth. In my previous life, I was truly stupid beyond redemption. Being treated like a servant and still loving Gu Yujun with all my heart, I really didn't die unjustly. I thought to myself. My gaze coldly fixed on Mo Xiaoya as she stuffed a big piece of meat into her mouth. She initially had a satisfied expression, but before she could even chew, she spat the meat out. Salty. It's so salty. I had dumped an entire bag of salt into the braised pork and rib soup I made for them. It wouldn't kill them, but it would make them miserable. Mo Xiaoya spat out the meat and frantically reached for the soup to wash down the saltiness, but the soup was just as salty and bitter as the meat. She made gurgling sounds and rushed into the kitchen to rinse her mouth with water. Across from her, Gu Yujun dipped his chopsticks into a bit of the broth and tasted it. His expression turned extremely sour. Su Luo, you're absolutely incorrigible. I spread my hands innocently. What did I do? I cooked for you properly and you're still not satisfied. Since you're not happy, then from now on, fend for yourselves. With that, I turned and went upstairs to my room, leaving chaos downstairs for a while. Mo Xiaoya was crying and Gu Yujun was comforting her. In my previous life, hearing that would have broken my heart and devastated me. But now, I turned a deaf ear. Half an hour later, Gu Yujun, having calmed Mo Xiaoya down, pushed open the door with a dark face. Su Luo, go apologize to Xiaoya right now. And if I don't, I looked up at him directly and asked. If you don't, we're getting divorced. I mean it. Fine, let's get divorced. I nodded with a smile. Let's file for divorce right now. I readily agreed to the divorce, which made Gu Yujun look at me as if he'd seen a ghost. I only glanced at him once before looking away. Picked up the divorce papers I prepared long ago, signed them, and handed them to Gu Yujun. This is the divorce agreement. I've already signed it. Now it's your turn. Gu Yujun's face darkened as he snatched the divorce papers from my hand. After skimming through them in one go, he sneered. Su Luo, I'm warning you. The consequences after I sign are not something you can bear. You'd better not play these push and pull games with me. What consequences can't I bear? Isn't it just a divorce? Anyone can live without anyone else. Gu Yujun, if you're a man, sign it without hesitation. The veins on Gu Yujun's forehead bulged. He didn't sign, but just glared at me fiercely. Su Luo, don't you regret this? I'll never regret it. I handed the pen over. Gu Yujun was stuck between a rock and a hard place, pressing his lips together without taking the pen. I looked at him, mockery clear in my eyes. Gu Yujun, you're not reluctant to divorce me, are you? Gu Yujun's expression looked like he was about to explode. He grabbed my hand and dragged me in front of him. Su Luo, my patience has limits. Apologize obediently and I won't hold anything from before against you. Otherwise what? Continue to lock me up. What reason will you use this time? Just because I put too much salt in the food. I looked at Gu Yujun with contempt. I'm afraid that reason won't be enough to lock me up. You. Gu Yujun was radiating menace. He had never seen me so disobedient. But I truly hadn't done anything wrong and he really couldn't find a reason to confine me. Gu Yujun tightened his grip on my hand. Su Luo, you did something wrong and won't admit it. And you think you're in the right, Gu Yujun, how many times do I have to tell you? Su Luo, walk upright and sit straight. I have never laid a hand on Mo Xiaoya. Then why did she fall? If not you, then who? I knew all along that Gu Yujun wouldn't believe me. Why waste my breath explaining? I shook off Gu Yujun's hand. No more nonsense. Sign it. Gu Yujun gritted his teeth and closed in on me. Enough, Su Luo. You don't think I dare not sign, do you? I wouldn't dare think that. I've just had enough of this life. Let's let each other go. Seeing me look at him coldly, resolutely demanding he sign. A hurt expression flashed in Gu Yujun's eyes. I just looked at him coldly. At this man I had loved to death in my past life, the one I gave my life for. There was no longer any attachment or love in my eyes, only disgust. Gu Yujun opened his mouth at my resolute expression, but before he could speak, Mo Xiaoya's startled cry suddenly came from outside. Gu Yujun threw the marriage certificate at me and turned to leave. I got up and chased after him, seeing Mo Xiaoya leaning against Gu Yujun with a pained expression. Brother Yujun, my stomach hurts. This was Mo Xiaoya's usual trick and it never failed. Gu Yujun, worried about Mo Xiaoya, hurriedly supported her and asked what was wrong. Then he shouted at me, "What are you standing there for? Why aren't you coming to help? What does it have to do with me?" Gu Yujun, sign the divorce papers. I held out the divorce papers and pen to Gu Yujun with no expression on my face. Gu Yujun looked at me in disbelief, then knocked my hand away, carried Mo Xiaoya, and quickly walked out the door. I chased to the doorway and only saw Mo Xiaoya's disappointed expression. Needless to say, I knew Mo Xiaoya's mood was complicated. If she had known that Gu Yujun and I were discussing divorce inside the room, she would never have pretended to be sick to call him away. Too bad she miscalculated. And I was also frustrated that I hadn't gotten Gu Yujun to sign. That night, Gu Yujun and Mo Xiaoya did not come back. I lay on the bed in my clothes, thinking about leaving in the future. Then I slowly drifted off to sleep and had no dreams all night. When I got up in the morning, I was surprised to find that Gu Yujun had actually come back. He handed me the red bean bun in his hand with a rare smile on his face and a gentle voice. Red bean bun. Eat it while it's hot. I really like red bean buns. In the past, Gu Yujun would often buy them for me, but since Mo Xiaoya came, this had never happened again. I didn't take the red bean bun from his hand. Instead, I went back to the room and took out the divorce papers that I hadn't signed last night. Sign it. Once you sign, we'll go through the procedures. Gu Yujun looked at me in disbelief. You. I've already given in to Su Luo. What more do you want? I'm telling you, don't push your luck. I looked at Gu Yujun without any expression. As a cadre, you must keep your word and lead by example. Since divorce was your idea, then be quick about it. Don't make me look down on you. Gu Yujun was proud and arrogant. So, I thought provoking him like this would make him sign. But I was wrong. Gu Yujun snatched the divorce papers from my hand and tore them into pieces in a few quick motions. Panting, he glared at me with bloodshot eyes and then left in a rage. I chased to the door to call him back, but it was too late. Gu Yujun with his long legs was out the door and in the car in no time. I couldn't understand why Gu Yujun refused to sign the divorce papers. He clearly no longer had me in his heart. Only Mo Xiaoya. Why wouldn't he divorce me in my previous life? Mo Xiaoya told me that Gu Yujun used me as a shield and a cover-up because of the identity issue between him and her. So, was that the reason he refused to divorce me? For the next period of time, Gu Yujun didn't come back. I heard he went on a mission with Gu Yujun away. Mo Xiaoya also didn't show up to cause trouble. I enjoyed the peace working during the day and busy dealing with things at home. Since I was going to break things off with Gu Yujun, I wanted to make a clean break. I cut up our photos together and threw them away and collected the sweaters I had knitted for Gu Yujun and the shoes I had made, giving them away. I couldn't bring too much stuff to the Northwest, so I gave away most of my clothes to the neighbors. Even the extra quilts, sheets, and bedding at home were given away. Dealing with the belongings wasn't complicated. It only took me a few days to get the house mostly sorted, but Gu Yujun still hadn't come back. Looking at the numbers on the calendar, I felt anxious inside. The day for me to go to the Northwest was getting closer. My divorce was still unresolved. Even though I could go to the Northwest without a divorce, I really didn't want to have any more connection with Gu Yujun. A break should be clean and complete with no contact ever again. While I was anxious, I received a call from the military hospital. Gu Yujun was injured. They notified me as his family member to go to the hospital to take care of him. Receiving the phone call, I felt not the slightest bit nervous or worried. After all, in my previous life, I died while Gu Yujun was still alive and well. I believed that in this life, nothing major would happen to Gu Yujun either. Even if something serious did happen to him, what did it have to do with me? I would never again grieve or suffer over a man who had betrayed me. When the leadership at my workplace heard that Gu Yujun was injured, they immediately granted me leave to go to the hospital and take care of him. I didn't go to the hospital. Instead, I made inquiries about Imo Xiaoya's whereabouts. After much probing, I finally got word that Imo Xiaoya was actually staying in Gu Yujun's dormitory at the military base. He really had hidden her well. I marveled at how well Gu Yujun looked after Imo Xiaoya. He was afraid I would make things difficult for her. So, he had her stay in the military dormitory. Right. Since he was so unwilling to part with Imo Xiaoya, I wouldn't play the villain. I'd leave the task of caring for Gu Yujun to Imo Xiaoya. I was sure that the two of them with their mutual affection would appreciate my arrangement. I went to the military dormitory to find Imo Xiaoya, informed her that Gu Yujun was injured and told her to go to the hospital immediately to take care of him. After notifying Imo Xiaoya, I went home without any burden. That evening, I cooked for myself and happily ate 3 full bowls of rice. Over the next few days, I went out shopping every day. As the day of my departure for the far northwest was drawing closer, the conditions there were harsh, so I needed to stock up on plenty of supplies. At the hospital, Gu Yujun had been in a coma for 3 days and 3 nights without waking up. Imo Xiaoya sat by the bedside holding a damp towel, carefully wiping Gu Yujun's face. She stared at his handsome features. Lost in thought, she had lost both parents and was taken in by the Gu family at the age of 8. She grew up with Gu Yujun and from the very first moment she laid eyes on him, Imo Xiaoya had fallen in love with him. Gu Yujun was simply too good-looking. There wasn't a girl who didn't like him. Imo Xiaoya especially adored Gu Yujun. She clung to him all day long and dreamed of marrying him. As the days went by, Imo Xiaoya's feelings for Gu Yujun became too obvious and were discovered by the elders of the Gu family. Imo Xiaoya was hastily married off, and during those years of marriage, she lived a life worse than death, always dreaming of returning to Gu Yujun's side. Later, the man she married died and she finally had a reason to come back to Gu Yujun. Gu Yujun treated her very well, indulging her in everything, and Imo Xiaoya was content. But this wasn't what Imo Xiaoya truly wanted. If only she could be the only woman by his side. But he was already married, and seeing the legitimate woman beside him drove Imo Xiaoya mad with jealousy. How she wished she could stand openly and legitimately by Gu Yujun's side. Imo Xiaoya greedily stared at the unconscious Gu Yujun. This was the man she had loved for so many years. Loving him without being able to have him. The torment in her heart was unimaginable. The most intimate thing she had ever done with Gu Yujun was holding his hand or using the excuse of feeling dizzy to lean into his arms. That wasn't what Mo Xiaoya wanted most. She had always wanted to take things further, like kissing his face. Now was undoubtedly an opportunity. Since Gu Yujun was unconscious, she might as well act on it to soothe her longing. With that thought, Mo Xiaoya couldn't control herself and lowered her head, about to plant a kiss on Gu Yujun's face. Just as her lips approached his cheek, a heavy slap landed on her face with a sharp crack. This slap stunned the infatuated Mo Xiaoya, her face burning with pain. More than the pain, Mo Xiaoya felt fear. Her feelings for Gu Yujun had finally been exposed. Discovered by him, what should she do now? How could she explain? She looked at Gu Yujun on the bed in a panic. But before she could see clearly, another heavy slap landed on her face. This one was even harder, and Mo Xiaoya was knocked directly to the ground. She covered her face, feeling ashamed, angry, and terrified, her heart in utter turmoil. Her dark and ugly thoughts had been laid bare, and the agonizing sensation made her dare not look at Gu Yujun. She waited for Gu Yujun, who had discovered the truth, to pass judgment, but waited for a long time without hearing anything. Instead, a murmuring voice came from beside her. Su Luo, Luo Luo. Gu Yujun on the bed was actually calling Su Luo's name. Mo Xiaoya struggled to her feet and found that Gu Yujun was still unconscious. He hadn't opened his eyes, his hands flailing wildly, murmuring, Luo Luo, don't go, the baby. So. The two slaps she had just received were merely from Gu Yujun's random hand movements while unconscious. Mo Xiaoya's tense heart settled. Gu Yujun's forehead was covered in sweat as he lay unconscious, eyes closed, continuously murmuring Su Luo's name. Mo Xiaoya was furious, glaring viciously at Gu Yujun. At that moment, the door was pushed open and Gu Yujun's guard came in. Seeing Gu Yujun's condition on the hospital bed, the guard quickly pressed the call button for a doctor. The doctor rushed over to handle it, and after an examination, Gu Yujun finally opened his eyes. His first words upon waking were, Luo, Su Luo. The doctor immediately responded. Commander, you're awake. You've been unconscious for several days and now you need to rest quietly. Don't get agitated. Where's Su Luo? Where is Su Luo? Gu Yujun scanned the room. The guard replied, your wife is at home. She's at home. Are you sure? Gu Yujun pressed. Nothing has happened. No, your wife is fine, Commander. Rest assured, Gu Yujun let out a breath, his heart pounding violently. He clutched his chest, trying to suppress the fear and panic. Call Su Luo over. Have her come to the hospital immediately. He needed to see Su Luo right away to see the living, breathing Su Luo to feel at ease. After all, the dream he had just had was too terrifying. He dreamed that Su Luo, pregnant, had jumped from a building to her death. He saw her shattered body, so tragic, so heart-wrenching. The dream was too real, too horrifying. Even though Gu Yujun had faced countless battles and remained calm in crisis, he was still shaken. When the guard came to find me, I was cooking in the kitchen. I was humming a tune while cooking when the guard pushed open the door, looking displeased, and called out to me in a harsh tone. The commander is awake. He wants you to come over. I turned to glance at the guard. What for? You in the days the commander was unconscious. You didn't visit him even once. How can you be so heartless? I looked at the guard's reddened face with anger. I'm not a doctor. What use would I be going? Isn't it enough that someone is watching over him? But the commander specifically asked for you to come. I'm busy. I haven't eaten yet. The guard was so furious at my attitude that smoke seemed to rise from his head and he left in a huff. Before leaving, he told me to wait. Was that a threat? Ha. Surely they wouldn't confine me again just because I didn't go to the hospital, right? Gu Yujun waited anxiously in the hospital for a long time. And the guard came back, but no one was following behind him, only he alone. Where's Su Luo? She didn't want to come. Said she had to cook a meal. How is that possible? Gu Yujun couldn't believe that Su Luo would ignore him while he was injured like this. Did you not explain it clearly? I did. The moment you got into trouble, I went to find her right away. Told her about your condition and even went to her workplace to ask her supervisor for leave on her behalf. But she hasn't come to the hospital even once. The guard felt wronged and unworthy for his commander. How could he have married such a wife who didn't know how to care for him this? How is this possible? Could there be some mistake? Gu Yujun murmured. How could Su Luo not care about him? She loved him so much. Even a minor injury would make her cry for a long time. Why was she so indifferent when he had been unconscious for so long? What exactly went wrong? As he was thinking, the guard continued angrily. The wife is probably angry that you can find her. She did something wrong herself and made a fuss. And she still has the nerve to hold a grudge against you. Gu Yujun had just woken up and had forgotten about confining Su Luo. Reminded by the guard, his face turned extremely grim. In his dream just now, he had also dreamed of confining Su Luo and had threatened her with divorce. In the dream, Su Luo refused to divorce no matter what and immediately apologized to Mo Xiaoya. But in reality, Gu Yujun recalled what happened before he left for the mission. Su Luo had handed him a written divorce application for him to sign. Her expression was cold, and her gaze at him held no trace of love. He had hastily torn up the divorce papers and fled the house. Remembering that Su Luo wanted a divorce made Gu Yujun deeply uncomfortable. How could Su Luo bring up divorce with him? How could she bear to divorce him? He leaned against the headboard, frowning in deep thought. Not knowing how much time had passed. A coquettish voice came through. Brother Yujun, are you thirsty? Have some water. Gu Yujun turned his head to look at Mo Xiaoya, who had appeared at some point. Mo Xiaoya was holding a cup of water. Her face swollen badly, clearly looking like she had been slapped. Gu Yujun was startled. What happened to your face? Mo Xiaoya touched her face and tears of grievance fell. It was sister-in-law who hit me. What? Gu Yujun raised his voice. Why did she hit you? Sister-in-law said, I said that you and I have an ambiguous relationship. I tried to explain, but she wouldn't believe me. And then she. Gu Yujun's gaze fell on Mo Xiaoya's face, staring at her without moving. Mo Xiaoya felt guilty under his gaze. Why was Gu Yujun looking at her like this? Didn't he believe her words? The first thing Gu Yujun felt when he saw Mo Xiaoya's face was anger. How could Su Luo hit someone? Didn't she know that Mo Xiaoya was a pregnant woman? That was utterly outrageous. But amid his anger, he suddenly remembered the dream he had where Su Luo bullied Mo Xiaoya again and again. He had questioned Su Luo, but she kept denying it and never admitted it. The dream he just had was too real, too tragic. He remembered Su Luo's tearful pleas in the dream. Remembered her despair. He remembered Su Luo angrily demanding, what exactly is your relationship with Mo Xiaoya? Gu Yujun, do you want me or her? He remembered Su Luo grabbing his hand and explaining over and over, I didn't push her. She's framing me. I really didn't do it. He remembered Su Luo lying on the bed in despair and paleness, tears streaming down her cheeks. The baby. My baby. Murderers, you're all murderers. Finally, the image froze on Su Luo, lying motionless on the ground. Blood stained her clothes, and around her were scattered flesh and broken limbs. Gu Yujun clutched his chest, and the pain spread from there. Every cell in his body ached through all his meridians. He knew it was just a dream, but it was too terrifying. He couldn't lose Su Luo. He knew very clearly that he couldn't accept what happened in the dream. Mo Xiaoya didn't know what Gu Yujun was thinking and tears streamed down her face. Yujun, sister-in-law doesn't like me. I'd better not disturb you two anymore. Once you recover, I'll move out right away. This was Mo Xiaoya's usual trump card. Every time she said this, Gu Yujun would feel reluctant. He would then take his anger out on Su Luo. She waited for Gu Yujun to defend her, but it took a long time before Gu Yujun finally spoke. It's good that you move out. I'll have the guard find you a place right away. From now on, if anything happens, go to the guard. Don't come to me so your sister-in-law won't get angry. Mo Xiaoya was completely stunned. After dinner, I was about to head out to continue shopping, but before I could leave, Mo Xiaoya came looking for me. She looked somewhat haggard, not like in her previous life where she was plump and glowing with health. Needless to say, it was because she was worried about Gu Yujun, but what was going on with her face? Both sides of her cheeks were swollen like steamed buns. Had someone hit her? I laughed bitterly to myself. Who would dare hit Mo Xiaoya? She was the apple of Gu Yujun's eye. Anyone who laid a hand on her would be locked up and punished to death. Mo Xiaoya glared at me with venom. Su Luo, are you satisfied now? I shot back an annoyed glare. Speak like a human. Stop being so sarcastic. They say dogs that bite don't bark. But I never expected you to have some tricks up your sleeve. You used retreat to advance and forced Brother Yujun to make me move out. I really underestimated you. I was taken aback by Mo Xiaoya's words. What do you mean? Gu Yujun is making you move out. How was that possible? In my previous life, I cried, made a scene, and even threatened suicide, using every trick in the book without getting Gu Yujun to budge. Why in this life had he made such a decision when I hadn't done anything? Mo Xiaoya was vicious and shameless, and her words couldn't be trusted. I looked at her coldly. Did you come to me just to say this? What else? You wicked woman. I'm telling you, I won't move out easily. Brother Yujun is mine and no one will take him from me. I felt nauseated hearing that. No one wants to take your brother Yujun. If you want Gu Yujun, take him. I don't care. You're lying through your teeth, playing hard to get. Mo Xiaoya glared at me hatefully. Mo Xiaoya was truly furious. Her tried and true tactics had backfired today. And how could she not be angry? She couldn't figure out how things had come to this. Gu Yujun had always done whatever she said. Her methods had always worked. So why had he changed so drastically after getting injured once? Unable to figure out the reason for Gu Yujun's change, she could only link everything to Su Luo. It must be that Su Luo's mention of divorce, retreating to advance, had softened Gu Yujun's heart. Do you think Brother Yujun really can't bear to let you go? You're dead wrong. He's about to be promoted and doesn't want any trouble. At this critical moment, watching immerse Xiaoya's frantic frustration, I was puzzled. What had gotten into her? I had already backed off so much to let them be together. So, why was she still acting like I owed her something? I knew very well immerse Xiaoya's desire to climb up with her viciousness, shamelessness, and cunning. If she could help me get a divorce, it would be twice the result with half the effort. Thinking this, I shrugged. Really? So, you're content to stay in the shadows forever? It's better to have some ambition, don't you think? I looked at immerse Xiaoya's contorted face and smiled. How about we make a deal? I'll divorce and step aside to let you and your brother Yujun be together, and you find a way to get him to sign the divorce report I give you. Immerse Xiaoya looked at me in surprise. Are you serious? Not setting a trap for me? Of course. Immerse Xiaoya left with the divorce report I gave her. I knew that with her abilities, she should be able to get Gu Yujun to sign it. Now I just had to wait for the news. Not long after immerse Xiaoya left, Gu Yujun's guard came again. He wore a grim expression. The organization has ordered you to go to the hospital to take care of the chief. This is an order. The guard's stance made it clear that if I refused, he would resort to force. A wise man knows better than to fight when the odds are against him. So I reluctantly followed the guard to the hospital. Gu Yujun was hooked up to N4. When he saw me come in, he actually reached out to grab my hand. I subtly avoided his touch and asked with distant politeness, "How are you feeling? Any pain anywhere?" Hearing my formal tone, the smile on Gu Yujun's face vanished. He stared at me without blinking. I stood quietly about a meter away from him, meeting his gaze. After a long silent standoff, Gu Yujun signaled for the guard to leave. Only after the guard closed the door did he slowly speak. "I've already had Xiao Zhang find a place for Xiaoya. She'll move out from now on." I responded with a flat "oh." Seeing my reaction, Gu Yujun grew a bit agitated about what happened with Xiaoya last time. I cut him off, apologizing. "That's absolutely out of the question. Gu Yujun, you've already confined me for 7 days. What more do you want? Let me tell you, killing someone only costs a head, and even a rabbit will bite when cornered." "I know. I just want to know what really happened back then. Why you pushed her." I had no idea why Gu Yujun was bringing this up again. I'd explained it to him before and he hadn't believed a single word. Now, after confining me for 7 days, he wanted to rehash old matters. Was he still trying to defend immerse Xiaoya? What a piece of work he was. I said impatiently, "I don't even know why I pushed her myself. If you want the specifics, go ask immerse Xiaoya. Whatever she says goes. You've already locked me up for 7 days. Surely you're not planning to have me thrown in jail. Is there no justice or law left?" Gu Yujun's expression was complicated, looking somewhat dejected and hurt. "Su Luo, I'm wounded right now. Are you sure you want to treat me like this?" I looked at him coldly. "Sorry, I've upset you. To keep from ruining your mood, I think I'd better leave." Watching Su Luo walk away without looking back, Gu Yujun coughed in frustration. Hearing the noise, the guard rushed in to check. Seeing Gu Yujun coughing non-stop, the guard quickly poured him some water and complained about Su Luo with sympathy. "What's wrong with the missus? How could she make you so angry?" Gu Yujun clutched his chest, feeling hollow inside. Su Luo's attitude made him realize that something was seriously wrong between them. He thought back carefully when exactly had they become so distant before immerse Xiaoya came to him for refuge. They had been deeply in love. It seemed like everything began to change slowly after Mo Xiaoya arrived. Su Luo was constantly causing a fuss and she and Mo Xiaoya never got along. Mo Xiaoya was pregnant and homeless. Wasn't it only natural for him to take care of her? Why was Su Luo being so unreasonable? Why would Su Luo be vicious enough to push Mo Xiaoya? No. Su Luo had always been gentle and kind with an excellent reputation in the compound. She'd never clashed with anyone before. Why did she always target Mo Xiaoya? Could it be that Mo Xiaoya was the problem? Gu Yujun couldn't help but think back to that terrifying dream. He instructed his guard, Xiao Zhang, put the plan to find Mo Xiaoya a place to move out on hold for now. Go find her a place to live in the area where her household registration is. Xiao Zhang let out a surprised sound. That place is over 1,000 kilometers away from here. Wouldn't it be too far for you to take care of her? She's an adult and should be able to take care of herself. I was overthinking it before. Other people manage to work and live with kids. Why can't she? Besides, she's still young and will need to get married eventually. Keeping her by my side isn't the right thing to do. Mo Xiaoya walked to the door of the hospital room and was about to push it open when she heard Gu Yujun's words. She immediately froze in her tracks. Mo Xiaoya did not enter the hospital room. Instead, she turned around and fled in panic. When she reached a secluded, empty place, Mo Xiaoya stopped. Her face twisted into an extremely ugly, ferocious expression. Gu Yujun telling her to move out was already more than Mo Xiaoya could bear. And now moving out had turned into being sent back to her registered residence. She had gone to great lengths to get close to Gu Yujun and cling to him. If she were sent back, wouldn't her plan come to nothing? She refused to be sent away. Gu Yujun had already instructed the guards to handle the matter, which proved his determination to send her away was firm. She had to find a way to deal with this. Mo Xiaoya paced anxiously on the spot. What should she do? What on earth should she do? The divorce report Su Luo had given her was already crumpled from her twisting it. Mo Xiaoya forced herself to calm down, smoothed out the divorce report Su Luo had given her and read it again. Soon, a brilliant idea formed in her mind. A man who lacks mercy is no true man. This was the way to go. A few hours later, Mo Xiaoya pushed open the door to Gu Yujun's hospital room. She walked to the bedside with a pitiful look. Brother Yujun, I have something to say to you. Gu Yujun gave a faint in response, his attitude far colder than before. Mo Xiaoya could tell, and hatred burned in her heart. She had no idea what trick Su Luo had used to cause such a sudden change in Gu Yujun, but it didn't matter. She had already figured out a countermeasure. Su Luo was doomed this time. Mo Xiaoya thought to herself and continued in a delicate, pitiful tone. Brother Yujun, I've decided to go back. Go back. Gu Yujun looked at Mo Xiaoya in surprise. Go back where? Back to my registered residence. I've been troubling you for too long, and you have your own family to take care of, so I've decided to go back. Gu Yujun stared at Mo Xiaoya in astonishment. He had just decided to send her away, but hadn't yet figured out how to broach the subject with her. Now Mo Xiaoya was voluntarily offering to leave, which lifted a weight off his mind. Gu Yujun was delighted. It's good that you're going back. Tell me what you need, and I'll have someone prepare it for you. Seeing Gu Yujun's relieved expression, Mo Xiaoya's hatred grew even stronger. She suppressed her resentment and pulled out a prepared contract. Brother Yujun, I plan to buy a house in my registered residence, but I need a guarantor. Could you sign as my guarantor? Gu Yujun agreed without a second thought. No problem. Mo Xiaoya immediately spread out the document and flipped to the page requiring a signature and fingerprint for Gu Yujun to sign. Gu Yujun only gave the first page a cursory glance before signing. Mo Xiaoya put away the document, a gentle smile on her face. Then I won't disturb your recovery, brother Yujun. I'll go back and get ready. I'll leave in a few days. Seeing Mo Xiaoya being so considerate, Gu Yujun felt a twinge of guilt. No rush. You can take your time packing. Let me know if you need anything. Mo Xiaoya left obediently. But once she stepped out of the hospital room, her face darkened with storm clouds. Trying to send her away. It wouldn't be that easy. Now, let the show begin. I didn't expect Mo Xiaoya to move so fast. She got the divorce papers signed by Gu Yujun in just a few hours. Taking the divorce papers, I immediately sent them to the military district for the leader's approval. The leader was surprised to see the divorce papers between me and Gu Yujun and pressed for the reason. I said irreconcilable differences. Everyone knew about Gu Yujun confining me. So the leader sighed and signed. Holding the approved divorce papers, I was overjoyed. Walking out of the military district, I unexpectedly ran into Gu Yujun's guard, Xiao Zhang. Xiao Zhang with a sour face reluctantly greeted me first. In my good mood, I didn't bother with him and smiled as I stepped past him to leave. Xiao Zhang called out to me. The chief wants to drink the fish soup you make. No time. You. How can you be like this? Xiao Zhang's eyebrows shot up in anger. Su Luo, don't you think you're going too far? What kind of wife are you? What I do is none of your business. If your chief wants fish soup, go find Mo Xiaoya. She'd be more than happy. You're impossible. How can there be someone as unreasonable and illogical as you? Xiao Zhang was furious. The chief has already backed down and agreed to send Xiaoya back to her registered residence. And you're still fighting with him? Do you know the chief has been talking about you non-stop these past few days? You're just sulking over your own petty jealousy and ignoring the chief. You're absolutely unreasonable. Xiao Zhang's words surprised me. Was Gu Yujun really planning to send Mo Xiaoya back to her registered residence? No way, right? Mo Xiaoya is willing to leave. She's already agreed. She's leaving in a few days. Are you satisfied now? Hurry back and make the fish soup. Bring it to the hospital. The chief is waiting. I didn't believe Mo Xiaoya would be willing to leave. In my past life, she schemed against me so deliberately. Got Gu Yujun to suspect me. Drove me into depression, killed the child in my womb, and pushed me to suicide. Her intentions toward Gu Yujun were so clear. How could she back down? My instinct told me Mo Xiaoya definitely had a trick up her sleeve. With only a few days left before I left and with the past as a warning, I had to be careful to guard against Mo Xiaoya causing trouble. Not wanting any complications, I avoided Mo Xiaoya these past few days, steering clear of any meetings. But Mo Xiaoya still came to find me on the night before I was set to leave. She banged on the door loudly, but I stayed silent and refused to open it, letting her make a fuss. The courtyard gate was locked from the inside by me. Mo Xiaoya made a racket outside until 2 o'clock in the morning before finally giving up and leaving. In the morning, I got up and stood upstairs looking down and saw Mo Xiaoya again, her belly protruding. Mo Xiaoya had been blocking me here day and night. She must have had ulterior motives. I had originally planned to leave and let go of all grudges, but seeing Imo Xiaoya like this, she clearly didn't want a peaceful end. Since that's the case, there's no need for me to back down. The humiliation of losing my child and dying in my past life hasn't been avenged yet. I sneered and slowly went downstairs, deliberately placing a steel rod at the turn of the staircase. If Imo Xiaoya had no ill intentions, then so be it. But if she still tried to frame me, then it would be her death. After setting everything up, I slowly opened the courtyard gate. Imo Xiaoya immediately rushed in. She slammed the door shut, blocking it, and glared at me with venom. Su Luo, did you think I couldn't catch you just because you wouldn't open the door? I stepped back a few paces, watching her warily. So, what do you want from me? Trying to frame me again. Imo Xiaoya's face twisted into a triumphant sneer. And what if I am? I'm telling you, Imo Xiaoya, don't you dare mess around. I've already divorced Gu Yujun to make way for you too. So why are you still scheming against me? I raised my voice in accusation, and Imo Xiaoya looked at me with nothing but hatred. You two-faced. What divorce to make way for me and Yujun? That's just your excuse. Your real intention is to retreat in order to advance, to have brother Yujun send me away, isn't it? I'm not. I genuinely want to make way for you, too. You're lying. If you really wanted a divorce, why would you have Yujun deport me? You know I love Yujun. You know I don't want to be separated from him. Yet, you shamelessly tore us apart. I'm telling you, Su Luo, you're dead. I won't let you get away with this. What are you going to do? I'm warning you, Imo Xiaoya, don't you dare. Last time you falsely accused me of pushing you, and Gu Yujun confined me, what more do you want now? To send you to hell, of course. Su Luo, you brought this on yourself. If you'd stayed in line and minded your own business with me and Yujun, I might have spared you, but you dared to fight back. Since you're looking for death, I'll give it to you. I'll make you suffer eternal damnation in hell. With that, Imo Xiaoya lunged at me viciously, and her desperate charge made me turn and run upstairs. Imo Xiaoya missed, but she didn't stop. Instead, she chased after me with her big belly. I turned and quickly ran to the second floor, and Imo Xiaoya followed. Her belly leading the way. I stood at the top of the stairs, looking down at her, crying out loudly and pleading, "Don't come near me. Stay away from me. I'm warning you. Imo Xiaoya, don't try to frame me. I'm begging you. It's too late to beg. Su Luo, go die." Imo Xiaoya climbed the stairs with a sneer, reaching for my hand. The moment her hand touched my clothes, I suddenly raised my foot. I kicked viciously at Imo Xiaoya's belly. Her sneer widened, and as she tumbled down, her face was filled with disbelief and shock. I watched her roll down the stairs. Watched her stare at me in horror. A smile played on my lips as I looked at her meaningfully, but my voice was frantic. "Someone help." Imo Xiaoya fell. As my words landed, Imo Xiaoya had already rolled from the top to the bottom of the stairs. There was a loud thud, followed by Imo Xiaoya's scream of agony. She clutched her belly, staring in disbelief at me standing on the second floor. A smile lingered at the corner of my mouth as I silently mouthed 3 words to Imo Xiaoya. "Go to hell." Imo Xiaoya looked down at her belly, at the steel rod piercing straight through it, and let out a belated scream. Blood gushed from Imo Xiaoya's stomach, splattering everywhere. Her face twisted in pain as her hands clawed desperately, trying to grasp something. In the end, she caught nothing and her arms fell limp. I continued shouting in panic. Someone come quick. Something terrible has happened. Mo Xiaoya was rushed to the hospital by people who hurried over. The steel rebar lying downstairs happened to pierce straight through her pregnant belly and she lost the baby. Not only that, she had to have her uterus removed due to severe hemorrhaging. After hours of emergency treatment, Mo Xiaoya finally made it back from the brink of death. The first thing she did upon regaining consciousness was accuse me of pushing her and killing the child in her womb. The consequences of this were extremely serious, especially since I had pushed Mo Xiaoya before and had been confined as a result. Everyone was convinced that I had pushed Mo Xiaoya and Gu Yujun had his guard Xiao Zhang come find me first. I went to see Gu Yujun very calmly. He looked furious and immediately demanded, "Su Luo, why would you do something like this?" Having lived 2 lives, Gu Yujun never believed me when it came to Mo Xiaoya. Never stood on my side. I wasn't angry at all. Just coldly asked Gu Yujun, "So you've already convicted me. What are you going to do next? Force me to confess? Keep me confined again?" Gu Yujun, what gives you the right? Do you think you own the court? My attitude made Gu Yujun even angrier. What kind of attitude is that? Can't I even ask you a question? Of course not. You don't have the right. Do you know I was already planning to send her away and she had agreed to leave? What you did has disappointed me so much. Gu Yujun believed I had pushed Mo Xiaoya and even tried to coax a confession out of me. Su Luo, Mo Xiaoya's situation now is no small matter. This is a matter of life and death. What you did is intentional harm and being confined won't solve this. You'd better tell me the truth and we'll figure out a way to handle it. If I believed him, would I even survive? I sneered. She fell on her own and it has nothing to do with me. I don't need to figure out anything with you. Gu Yujun, I know you want to protect Mo Xiaoya. The child in her belly is dead and she can never have children again. She's suffered so much. So, you have to find someone to take the blame to make her feel better. And I'm that scapegoat, right? Gu Yujun's face turned extremely grim. Faced with my sarcasm, he didn't jump up, but suppressed his anger and softened his voice. It's not what you think. Tell me honestly what really happened. Did you actually push Mo Xiaoya? I gave Gu Yujun a sinister smile. You guess. I want you to tell me directly whether you did it or not. Just assume I did. Gu Yujun's expression froze. What? You really pushed her? Su Luo, why? Why? That's a question I'd like to know, too. I spread my hands. Mo Xiaoya kept saying I bullied her and wanted to harm her. I kept wondering why I would single her out to bully and no one else. I racked my brain and couldn't figure out the reason until she told me the reason. Do you want to hear it? Gu Yujun said nothing, just looked at me. I smiled. She said you two are lovers. That she likes you and you love her the most. I'm just a fig leaf to cover up for the two of you. Nonsense. Gu Yujun's voice changed with anger. Even at this point, he was still putting on an act. In my previous life, this was exactly how he deceived me. I only saw the truth when I was dying. I sneered. Nonsense. I don't think so. As far as I know, she has no blood relation to you, right? You take such devoted care of someone who isn't related to you by blood. That's strange no matter how you look at it. What's even stranger is that you care more about Mo Xiaoya than you do about your own wife. That's quite thought-provoking. Gu Yujun's face changed color again and again, and he found himself unable to refute what I said. I ignored Gu Yujun's ugly expression. Whatever Mo Xiaoya says goes. But no matter how I explain myself, you refuse to believe me. You trust Mo Xiaoya so much. Have you ever considered that it's because you feel guilty? You know your relationship with Mo Xiaoya isn't normal. You're afraid I'll see through it. Afraid I'll make a scene, so you strike first to shut me up. Gu Yujun's forehead veins bulged. I didn't. There's no need to deny it at this point. I know you want to avenge Mo Xiaoya in this state. You want to punish me. I'm waiting for your move, Gu Yujun. I pushed Mo Xiaoya. I'm the culprit who made her lose her child and her uterus. I admit it. So, go ahead and have someone arrest me. With a smile on my face, I leaned close to Gu Yujun and told him word by word in a voice only he could hear. Gu Yujun was enraged to the extreme, panting heavily. I knew that at this moment, his heart ached for Mo Xiaoya to the utmost. But who would ache for my child? Who would ache for me who died an innocent and tragic death in my previous life? I watched the ever-changing expression on Gu Yujun's face, and as he raised his hand to grab me, I quickly stepped back. Then I lightly added another line. If you have the ability, I'll be waiting for you to come arrest me. After saying this, I turned and strode away. And behind me came a loud crash. Gu Yujun must have thrown something in his extreme rage, but it had nothing to do with me anymore. As I left Gu Yujun's hospital room, I passed by Mo Xiaoya's room and saw her leaning against the headboard, waving her hands frantically in great agitation. Several police officers stood by Mo Xiaoya's bed and someone was taking notes on a pad. Mo Xiaoya was agitated to the extreme, shouting loudly when she suddenly spotted me standing at the door of the ward. She let out a scream. The murderer, Su Luo, is right at the door. Why aren't you arresting her? Why are you letting her go? It was Su Luo who pushed me. The evidence is conclusive. Arrest Su Luo now. Don't let her get away. The police officer turned to look at me and I met his gaze with a faint smile on my face. Then slowly under their watchful eyes, I walked into the ward. Mo Xiaoya was agitated to the extreme. If she hadn't just had surgery and couldn't get out of bed, I was certain she would have rushed over to hit me. I stood in the center of the ward and said in a sincere tone, Mo Xiaoya, you need evidence when you speak. You say I pushed you. Where's your witness? I am the witness. If you can be the witness, then I can also say I didn't push you and that you're deliberately framing me. Why would I frame you? Why would I use my own child's life to frame you? I don't know your true intentions either. After all, this isn't the first or second time you've wronged me. But Mo Xiaoya, is it really worth it to slander me at the cost of losing your child and your uterus? Mo Xiaoya didn't yet know that her uterus had been removed. She froze at my words. What did you say? A sympathetic expression was on my face, but my words cut like knives. I said, you brought this on yourself. Not only did you kill your own child, but you ruined yourself, too. Now you can't even be considered a complete woman anymore. No. Impossible. How could that be? Mo Xiaoya refused to believe it. You must be lying to me. Why aren't you arresting the culprit? Why not arrest Su Luo? She pushed me. She killed my child. She's a murderer. I want her in jail. Let her repent for my child. The police officer said nothing. I sighed. Even now, you still don't get it. Accusing me of pushing you is just baseless words. But I have witnesses proving you were framing me. Mo Xiaoya, you staged this whole act without knowing that my home wasn't just occupied by me alone. There were others. What do you mean? Mo Xiaoya's voice changed pitch. I was afraid of living alone. So, I asked colleagues to stay with me. Not one colleague, but two. When you rushed into my house and said you'd frame me, my colleagues heard everything. So your scheme to frame me is exposed. Mo Xiaoya stared at me with wide eyes. The police officer said, so you've made a false accusation. You should know that false accusations also lead to jail time. How is that possible? How? I'm not. You lifted a rock to drop it on your own feet. You brought this on yourself. I helpfully finished the words Mo Xiaoya wanted to say. Mo Xiaoya's eyes rolled back and she fainted. I had no time to bother with Mo Xiaoya. After all, I had witnesses proving my innocence and her guilt. Besides, why would someone like me who had already applied to support the development of the Western region have any reason to harm her? I had already divorced Gu Yujun, and I let go so cleanly and decisively. There was no motive or reason for me to deal with Mo Xiaoya. The next day, I boarded the train heading west. As the vehicle left the station, I watched the moving scenery outside the window, looked at the bright sunshine, and revealed a genuine smile. Gu Yujun only learned of my departure 2 days later. He chased after me to my workplace, and the leader told him I had already submitted my application to support the Northwest long ago. Besides, to me, he was just an ex-husband. What right did he have to know about my affairs? Gu Yujun had no idea about the divorce. So, he went to ask the leader. The leader showed Gu Yujun the signed application. Seeing his own signature, Gu Yujun was stunned. He was certain he had never signed a divorce application. So, what was going on? Gu Yujun suddenly thought of the documents he had signed for Mo Xiaoya at the hospital. Could it be? Furious and enraged, he rushed to the hospital to confront Mo Xiaoya. Mo Xiaoya admitted it. She said the divorce was my idea and she had just gone along with it. She hugged Gu Yujun now. I only have you since Su Luo is gone. Let's be together properly. Gu Yujun shoved Mo Xiaoya away. Are you insane? I am insane. I became like this because of you. You have to take responsibility for me. Mo Xiaoya finally revealed her true face to Gu Yujun. She demanded he marry her or she would report him to the military district for improper conduct. Gu Yujun never expected Mo Xiaoya to be this kind of person. He finally saw her true nature. He finally understood the truth of how he had been deceived by Mo Xiaoya. And he finally realized he had wronged me. But now Gu Yujun was caught in a dilemma. On one side was his future and on the other was Mo Xiaoya whom he loathed to the extreme. Under Mo Xiaoya's coercion, Gu Yujun ultimately confessed to his superiors. His superiors valued his talent and planned to suppress the matter. But Mo Xiaoya had gone mad. She refused to accept ending up like this with nothing to show for it. She made a scene everywhere, spreading scandalous stories about her and Gu Yujun. And so Gu Yujun was discharged from the military and sent back home. The next time I heard news of Gu Yujun and Mo Xiaoya was in my 3rd year of arriving in the Northwest. Someone familiar to us was also dispatched to the Northwest and she told me about Gu Yujun and Mo Xiaoya. They're both dead. I was stunned. How could that be? After Gu Yujun was sent home, Mo Xiaoya chased him to the Gu family's house and made a scene. Gu Yujun was so annoyed that he eventually strangled Mo Xiaoya to death. Then he killed himself too. This ending was something I had never expected. I felt neither sadness nor schadenfreude. Those I had already let go of were not worth a single ounce of my attention.